Well, welcome back, y'all. I'm Andre Thompson, privileged bow hunter. What I got before you right now is a trophy line Wingman and a Tethrd One Stick. You've seen plenty of videos, the 2 fat to 1 stick, me modifying this and making this a 1 stick setup. Well, this is what I think I'm going to be rolling with now. I'm rolling with the Tethrd One Stick. Decision isn't completely final. I'm gonna put it through its paces. I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna go up the tree, down the tree, pack it up, pack it in. I'm gonna do some pig hunts here locally. I just shot a axis buck literally last week off of this thing. Actually, I shot 2 animals, 2 deer off of this last week. Haven't put this through the paces yet because while I was on Lanai bow hunting, this came in the mail. But there's something about this being a 1 pound option and me having this fully set up, this being around 5 pounds, I'll put exact weights on the screen. That makes me kind of want to possibly explore the lighter option. But before we get into the video, you already know what to do. If you can subscribe, if you're a subscriber, please make sure you hit the bell notification. Let's go. I would say there's only room in my budget for one of these, either the 1 stick or the Wingman. So depending on how things turn out today and these future hunts, you're gonna end up seeing one of these from me for sale, either on Saddle Hunter, either on the forum or Facebook forum, up for sale. So one of the things I wanna see is if there's any difference in how high I can really get this initially. Shouldn't really be much of a difference in this arena, but we'll see. And hopefully I'm doing this correctly. Below first, around in this figure 8 manner. And I know you're supposed to do like a lock it off right there. Probably not gonna do that. I'll probably do it in the woods. I don't think I'm gonna do it here. If I'm gonna do anything that's somewhat risky, I'm gonna do it while I got Chris to be able to call for help if something happens. Chris, like, don't bring me into this. We're supposed to make a video and go home. With this locked in, let's see what that height is. I'm not digging down into the dirt, guys. I'm just getting rid of all these leaves that are here. And it's gonna be the same comparison for both. And that is 8 feet and 5 inches. So from the top of that stick to the ground, you got literally 8 feet, 5 inches exactly. I got a decently long wingspan, I know. I'm about 6'2", and if, for comparison, my draw length is about 31 1/4. Okay, so that's there. Let me see if I can get this. I should be able to get the trophy line to the same height. I'm trying to do this, guys. I'm doing this, for me, the decision is mostly on, well, the decision is heavily on weight, but I'm trying to take into account a multitude of factors. And then obviously I took the 8er off so I can throw it on the 1 stick, because that's what I'm gonna be climbing with today, because I got a bunch of climbs on the Wingman. I already know what to expect there. Let's see, I'm gonna go out. There. I got that to 8 feet flat. Hey guys, tell me in the comments why that is. I was trying this last night at home as well, and I can't explain why I was able to get one higher than the other. But yeah, it was pretty consistent. That was one of the things that I noticed immediately, other than the weight savings. So 5 inches different. I got this 8 feet flat, and I'm able to get that 5 inches higher for some reason, which doesn't necessarily make sense because the connection points are about the same. I don't know if it's because of this, I don't know if it's maybe because the am steel is a little bit smaller in diameter and easier to get up there, and the am steel weights to small diameter carries itself well when I throw it up. I don't know, I can't really explain that, but consistently, that's what I've been getting. So let me know what you guys are getting when you first set your stick, and let me know which stick you're using. So this thing has been nothing but awesome for me. I'm just trying to get down to a more compact size and less weight. Okay. And then what I also want to see is how this translates to subsequent moves. So am I getting more distance out of each move, or what's the deal there? All right, stick is in a tree. I'm gonna verify where I'm at, because once I make one move, then I'm gonna measure again and see the distance covered with my subsequent move. Yep, so we're at 8 feet 5 inches again. All right, so 8 feet 5 inches here for this one. The other one was 8 foot flat. And then, so now I'm gonna make some climbs and see if this is arduous or not. When I come back down, I'm probably gonna be sweating, but check it out. I don't wanna necessarily hear that one sticking is so hard, because look at your sweating. Look, I am on the ground, I have not climbed at all yet, and I'm already sweating. That's just me, part of me living in Hawaii, being 250 pounds. Hey, drop below in the comments if you've ever one sticked in Crocs, and then leave another comment and a like if you ever hunted in Crocs. All right, here we go. So I like to be clipped into my lineman's when I'm attaching this. And I get that lineman nice and tight. I like to be able to work two hands, so that's why I clip in with the lineman. Getting all the slack out of this. ATC. I'm gonna sit down, let that sway bitch grab. I'm gonna pull all of my slack out of my auto block, and then I'm gonna come off the weight. I'm gonna go ahead and load this now. But I'll give you guys a video on kind of how I one stick. I've got, I don't know how many hunts at this point in a one stick and how I do it safely. But right now is specifically on how I'm working out my process to one stick with the Tethrd One Stick. What I would do with the trophy line is reach down, grab it, and be able to pull it out of the cam cleat. That's not there anymore. So what I do have to do is take a couple seconds and do that. I would say that was probably a second or two longer. However, there was no option for noise. With that, I'm like 80%, 90% success rate with the Wingman, undoing that cam cleat without it clanging, right? So with this AM steel and this figure X method, or this figure 8 method, nice and cool. All right, so here's my first move. Now, right off the bat, what I normally do, and what most of us one stickers do, is this. We kick back, and then we jam this up there. Now, with this platform being significantly more shallow, or is not as far away from the tree, what I get to do is jam this up way higher. So, I think normally I get about 5 feet from the next move. Let's see where I end up here. So I started at 8 feet 5 inches. Let's see where we end up with this next move. I am at 15 feet and 4 inches at the top of this stick. 15 feet 4 inches. That's one move. So, well, I attached the stick. I reached down once and brought it up higher one time, and that's 15 inches. Right. I don't know how long that took, but I can get significantly higher faster. Previous setup with this method, I would get around 8 feet. Let's just say let's just throw out the initial distance and height. let's just call them both 8 feet. But then I would only get about 5 to 6 feet on the subsequent moves, right? So for me to be at 15.4, I'm getting over a foot, probably closer to a foot and a half, or I'm sorry, over a foot and a half of more distance out of the one stick, because it is it's a shorter standoff from the tree. So it's pros and cons. With the bigger platforms up top, you're gonna have more foot room. However, you can't move as high, so you gotta make a decision for yourself. I'm making my decisions. Okay, I'm gonna go one more time, and essentially we'll basically be able to see, I will be above 20 feet with this next and final move. I don't know if we have it in our heads that you have to have a cam cleat in order to one stick, but I don't think that's the case. Huh? For real? Oh, man down. You all right, bro? That was not intentional. Okay, I'm not gonna step up on the last portion, but I'm gonna just measure from here. Okay, guys, so if you're gonna count, so basically I set the stick, climbed up, moved it again. So 3 total moves if you count the initial setting of the stick on the tree. And I am at 21 feet, 3 inches from the platform. Not where my head is, but where the platform is. And that last move, I didn't even really stretch as far as I could. So let me come back down the tree and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I'm back down off the tree. I just did a one stick climb. I made it to, I think, 21 feet 5 inches off the Tethrd One Stick. Both of these have been really, really good to me. I still got much more field testing to do for me to make a decision. So it's pros and cons, right? When I was up in the tree, I said I was gonna come down and talk about pros and cons. So pro to the Trophy Line Wingman is obviously there's much more foot space. And with me, with size 13 shoes, and I'm in Crocs, right? This is a little bit more comfortable for my feet to be on in the Trophy Line Wingman. Pro for this, it's 1 pound. So I guess con would be this is smaller. Pro or con for this one is it's heavier. Now pro for this, for the one stick that I'm really impressed with, because this depth, right? Everybody is super excited about having more standoff from the tree. But what I see in climb time and efficiency is this one is actually more efficient getting up, because I can slide this further up my climbing rope, right? I can slide this further up my tether or my rappel rope, whatever you want to call it. It can get closer to that Delta Quick Link because this space is smaller, whereas I can only get so high with this platform. So a lot of people say you only need a 2-step aider because the 3rd step is only good from the ground. But what I've seen using this is actually a 3-step aider for me with my arm length is useful all the way up the tree. If I stand on my tiptoes, if I stand all the way up, right, I can actually get this to the point where I need to use my 3rd aider, which is why I was able to get to 15 feet 4 inches. We'll put it up on the screen. With the second move. So 8 feet 5 inches on the first one, and the subsequent move got me around 7 feet. So that's a major improvement on what I was able to do here. So pros and cons to both. At the end of the day, you guys let me know in the comments which one you're gonna go with. I got a couple different things that I got in mind to combat the lack of foot space I have here. I'll show you guys what I'm thinking about and what I'm gonna do. Hey, with that being said, guys, happy Thanksgiving. If you haven't hit the like button yet, do so at this time. Make sure you subscribe, share it with your friends. If you don't know how to spell it, it's P-R-I-V-I-L-E-G-E-D. We know you're not a spell bow hunter. We love y'all. Peace.